Hoggie's beer reviews. Hoggie's beer reviews.
What's going on, guys? We're back with another craft beer review, and today we're digging into another beer from Southern Tier. Take a look at this one. This one is called Hoppe. At least I'm assuming that's the intended pronunciation. Hoppe from, of course, Southern Tier. This is an Imperial Extra Pale Ale from Southern Tier. It's 8% alcohol by volume. And let me see. Let me read what it says back here just to give you an idea. It says, an ale of simple composition. The simplicity of Hoppe tests the skill and ability of the brewer to create something truly majestic. We craft this beer much like a sculptor who uses only a hammer and a chisel to shape stone into a masterpiece. Hoppe is spawned of these few essentials: barley, wheat, hops, yeast, and water. This limited palate is an exercise in minimalism with refined elements that are deliberately selected. Blah, blah, blah. This simple combination creates a golden shimmering brew infused with delicate aromas. The artful nature of this beer is exposed with the first taste, as the malt and hops create a composition of flavors and elegant finish leaves an impression that your taste will not soon forget. Don't be deceived by the innocence of Hoppe. Please enjoy in moderation. Maybe I shouldn't have read the whole thing, but oh well, you get the point. Hoppe. As the name implies, you would think, and you would assume it is a hoppy beer, and that's right up my alley. I'm hoping this works out because I haven't had great experiences with Southern Tier. Their 420 wheat beer, their Finn and Matt's Extraordinary Ale is nothing even close to extraordinary. Their Unearthly Double IPA is one of the few beers I've actually poured down the drain. And what was the other one? The Iniquity Black IPA was actually pretty good. So I'm hoping that this is one of their better beers. Oh, and their IPA was okay, but not great. So I'm hoping that this is one of their better beers. I've heard a lot of good things about Southern Tier, but the general consensus seems to be that their bombers, their like special edition beers, are their better offerings as opposed to their six packs. We shall see. Now, punching up beer advocate like we always do about this time. Hoppe Imperial Extra Pale Ale. This is a good sign. A- out of 404 reviews, and the bros give it an A- as well. Of course, it's from Southern Tier Brewing Company in New York. It's classified as an Imperial IPA, 8% ABV. We know that already. All right, guess that covers that. So it's a craft beer. It's one of my earlier reviews. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday. I figure, what the hell, I got some stuff to do around the house. And we're off, cracking open a Hoppe beer. And the smells hit me right away, so that's always a good sign. And you guys know, my hand-blown goblet, chalice, goblet, is it a goblet? It's a goblet, whatever. Brain fart, sue me. All right, let's get right to, it is a nice golden color, wow. Okay, that's a good start. This looks very nice. My goodness, it's literally a golden orange. It's a golden orange, light amber kind of thing. I mean, wow, this is the most orangey beer I think I've ever, yeah? It looks good though, can you see that? The camera, I mean, the true nature of this orange hue, you're not going to see on camera. But I mean, it's pretty, and it's hazy. You cannot see through this beer. It looks like a glass of OJ, man. But yeah, that's a good sign. It's a really good sign, man. It's an interesting mix. The nose isn't very strong, but it's a lot of smells in there mixed together. There's not one overpowering scent. I'm getting hints of caramel sweetness. I'm getting hints of citrus. Floral. Floral and earthy as well. And maybe just a touch of like a buttery butterscotch kind of thing. It smells good. And even though the head kind of went away quicker than I'd like, I did have it really cold. So, okay, cool. I gotta give this a try, guys. Cheers. It's hoppy. Bet your ass it's hoppy. Wow. And it's really resinous. Herbally. There's herbally elements to it, and there's that resinous element that makes me think of like the pinier side of an IPA. You know, East Coast IPAs tend to be a little more piney, but there's also a bit of citrus, like a citrus undercurrent, like a grapefruit undercurrent. It's a very nice hop combination. And yet there is a solid malt body. This beer will get sweeter and maltier as it warms, I guarantee you, but it's very well blended. It is the slightest bit boozy, as far as that 8% alcohol not being, not being very well hidden, but that's not always a bad thing. Sometimes a little boozy, a little alcohol flavor is good. I mean, if there wasn't any alcohol in these things, we probably wouldn't be drinking them. So I'm not going to complain about that, but you do get a bit of that alcohol flavor and warmth, of burn and warmth. It's not a negative thing, but it is there. But I mean, this is a pretty good beer. That's a medium body, leaning towards medium full. Again, this beer is going to become richer and thicker and sweeter as it warms. They do suggest on the side of the bottle, serve chilled in a fluted glass, best at 42 degrees Fahrenheit, 5.5 Celsius. I had a thermometer in my old fridge, and I don't know what the hell happened to it. I just realized that now. I got lost in the move. Oh well, I'll have to buy another one. So anyways, yeah, I don't know what temperature the thing was at, but it's relatively cold. I mean, it's not frosty cold, but it's pretty cold, and it's pretty good. There's still that kind of buttery aspect to it that does kind of remind you of a pale ale as opposed to an IPA. They call it an Imperial Extra Pale Ale, and you know what? That is, in my opinion, a better description of this beer than just calling it a double IPA. Yeah, it's just, I think that the base of this beer, the foundation of this beer, the original idea behind this beer was not an IPA, but a pale ale just hopped up and made bigger. But I like it. I like it. I don't consider it extraordinary, but I consider it really good. This is a solid glass, half full, half full and then some. This may be my favorite beer from Southern Tier so far. I'm glad I picked it up, and yeah, I'm glad I shared it with you guys. This is good stuff. You know what? I'll leave it at that. There's no sense in continuing to ramble on. Southern Tier's Hoppe. Hoggie gives it a thumbs up. I'm gonna finish this and get to kicking around the house. So there you go. Hoppe. What is it? Imperial Extra Pale Ale. If you see it, grab it if you like hoppy beers. Alright? I'll see you on the next one, guys. Cheers.